Aloha, aloha everybody. Once again, this is Kamaa, and this is segment number 3, I believe. Or segment number 4 embedded today. Thank you, Angelo. Continuing on with the lesson today. Today we're working on what is called applied music theory. Okay, basically, applied music theory basically deals with math, deals with division, multiplication. Um, it's basically math, um, decimals, and so what we're dealing with now, moving on, is we're moving on to the fingerboard. Okay, your fingerboard. Your fingerboard basically has 6 strings in it. Okay, so you have string 6, string 5, string 4, string 3, string 2, and 1. The thick string is 6 and it gradates lower to the highest string, which is the first. The 6th string is called E, then there's A, the 4th string is D, then G, B, and E. Together, this is called standard tuning. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this, to give you this understanding, is because when you use the tertian harmony to the fingerboard, basically, then that gives you an advantage to get away from mediocrity to what is called expertise, virtuosity. You can imagine, you're using imagination with confidence, and then you're creating is very intellectual. Okay, so provocative. So once you get the E over here, right? Is every animal does good before eating. Every animal does good before eating. This is your memory tool, everybody. For you who are just beginning, you want to learn the name of these guitar strings. All you got to do is memorize the sentence. Every animal does good before eating. Now at this juncture, you're going to have to recall the information. Remember I told you to recall. Okay, so what it is when you erase this. Okay, here we go. Recall the information, and then we're going to move on. So, now that we got this here, now you want to speak it out and or write it out. In other words, the strategic plan for it is don't take it for granted. Write it out and just show up by doing it, and then you own it. So basically the 6th string, it goes from E to F sharp, G, then it goes to G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, and then E. That's the 6th string. So as far as this is called your chromatic scale. Okay, so basically this is the 6th string. This is the open string. F is the 1st fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret. G sharp is the 4th fret. A is the 5th fret. A sharp is the 6th fret. B is the 7th fret. C is the 8th fret. C sharp is the 9th fret. D is the 10th fret. D sharp is the 11th fret, and E is the 12th fret for the chromatic scale. This is a fingerboard study. Now we're doing this so you can apply your applied music theory to this, where you can build scales, you can build chords. You can use this for composition and improvisation. You can move on. So standard tuning, this is what this is. Okay, now when you move on to the A string, this is the 6th string, right? Yeah, this is the 6th string. Now when you move on to the 5th string, let's go to the 5th string. What we're dealing with here, the 5th string starts here. It starts at A, and it uses the same the same notes. I mean the same following up, the same order, but it starts on A. And then of course it's going to go to 12, right? So that's we did the 6th string, then the 5th string starts on A, right? The 4th string starts on D. So it goes over here, and it takes the D and it goes 12 frets, 12 notes. You're using the same characters, but you're starting on D. Okay, when you go to the 3rd string, it's on G, so you same notes, but you're only starting on G. Okay, and then on the 2nd string, you're starting on B, same thing, and then when you go to the 1st string, you're starting on E again. When you go to the 1st string. So the 6th string is E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, and D sharp, E. The 5th string you start with A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, and it starts on the A. Or the 4th string it starts on the D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D. This the 3rd string starts on G. It goes to G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F sharp, and then ends on G. Okay, and then the 2nd string starts on B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B. Okay, and finally the E on the 1st string is the same as the E on the 6th string. E, can you please tell me what it is? Angelo, can you call it out? E what? F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. Now the reason why I'm doing this and I'm not using the guitar, because I want you to literally write it out. Once you get the first set, then the rest of the set is the same thing, but you're just starting on, instead of starting on E, you're starting on A, and instead of starting on A, you're starting on D, instead of starting on D, you're starting on G, instead of starting on G, you're starting on B, instead of starting on B, you're starting on E. Okay, so this is, what is this called? Socratic. So when somebody asks a question and they're doing a lesson, it's called Socratic. That means it's provocative, and it's having you to learn by asking questions. Great minds ask great questions. So this is a fingerboard study. This is a fingerboard study, and then we're doing standard tuning today. Okay, so when you have a note like this starting on C, what key are we in? Key of C. Now the key of C, it has no sharps, it has no flats, it has 7 naturals. No sharps, no flats, 7 naturals. Okay, so basically, when you're looking at it this way, okay, from C to C sharp, okay, from here to here, and from C to D is a major second. From C to C sharp is a minor second. So C to C sharp is a minor second. C to D is a major second. C to E is a major third. And now you notice the major is written with capital M, the minor is written with small m. Huh? Okay, major is 2. Major is 2 frets. But minor is 1 fret. Okay, let's move on. C to F. Over here, this is it's called a perfect fourth. C to F sharp. This is called an augmented fourth. C to G, F sharp is also Okay, C to F sharp is augmented fourth. C to G is a perfect fifth. C to G sharp is an augmented fifth. C to A is a major sixth. C to B is a major seventh. And C to C is called an octave or perfect prime. Octave or perfect prime. 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 Perfect prime. Okay, so what we're dealing with here, the major second, and then we have a minor second to a major second, right? And then we have the major thirds. C to E is a major third. C to F is a perfect fourth. Okay, so now let's address over here. This is an anomaly. Okay, C sharp. Okay, right here, the C sharp right there is also a D flat. This is called an upper neighbor. This is called a lower neighbor. Neighbor. N-E-I-G-H-B-O-R. Okay? So F sharp basically is right over here. F sharp is also a G flat. Okay? G sharp is also an A flat. These are called inharmonic. Inharmonic tones. So we're dealing with C sharp and D flat, for example, just from here. Erase all this. Get the meaning. So I'm moving on the chromatic scale. From C to C sharp, this is called an upper neighbor. This is based on the or a starting point. Okay, starting on D, when you start on C, you go up half steps. This is called an upper neighbor. That's called a minor second. Starting on D, and you go back from D. From D to C. Okay, that's a C. This becomes C sharp becomes a D flat. The D flat now is called the lower neighbor. So when I'm giving these lessons, you should have a notebook and a pencil or a pen, so you can write this down. Being a good instructor, I need to manage the information flow and not to give you too much. I don't want it to be frustrating. So I need to know when to stop, and which I'm going to do right now. Basically, let me ask you the questions now. What is this all about? Remember, I told you to recall the information, right? And that's part of the training, huh? Guitars are too. Socratic. Makes you think. This is called applied music theory. And I gave you some information regarding the applied music theory. Okay, so here, we're going to end it like this. Okay? The energy that we use today was dedicated to applied music theory. So you're using energy to recall information. It takes energy to use your mind to recall, to really want it, passion. It's all energy. When we're in the grave, then there's no energy there. Okay, So energy is the same as mass. Mass is all of the different things I told you about the chromatic scale. Going to the sharp, which is upper neighbor, the flat, which is the lower neighbor. Going up the scale, E, F, on the sixth string is E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp A sharp B, C, C sharp D, D sharp E. On the fifth string is A sharp B, C, C sharp D, D sharp E, F, F sharp G, A. And on the D string is D, E, F sharp G, G sharp A sharp B, C, C sharp D. On the G string is G, G sharp A sharp B, C, C sharp D, D sharp E, F, F sharp G. On the B string is B, C, C sharp D, D sharp E, F, F sharp G, G sharp A sharp B. And then the sixth string is the same as the first string is the same as the first six. It's E, F sharp, E, F, F sharp G, G sharp A sharp B, C, C sharp D, D sharp E, F. That's a mess. You see what I'm saying? It's many different things for today's workshop, and anything you encounter, baseball, boxing, kung fu, jiu-jitsu, so many things to learn, not just one thing. Writing, singing, arranging. So E equals mass, which is that, and C is the time. Instead of light years or light time, that Einstein, he was explaining about the atomic bomb, because he started the atomic bomb. So he was explaining it. So this equation here, this formula, E equals mc, m is mass, c is time. Time is duration. Duration is milliseconds, microseconds, nanoseconds, fractions of a second, seconds, minutes, hours, days, nights, mornings, weeks, months, years, decades, generations, lifetime. You know what I'm saying? Eternity. So that's basically time. And 2 is exponential energy. And in other words, exponential energy is growth. It's like when you eat, you feel better, right? Exponentially, rather than not eating. When you learn something and you memorize it, you meditate on it like God's words, then you become an expert, you become a pastor, you become a minister, you become an evangelist. That is 2. It's exponential energy. So when you're learning about math, you study it, you pay money, you go study from the people, the professors, and you start teaching it. Exponentially, then you become a teacher, you become a professor. For teaching, for fishing, you gotta find out where the refrigerator is, what kind of fish to use, what kind of hooks to use, what kind of fishing line you're gonna use, what kind of bait you're gonna use, how you're gonna get out there, what is the location. For boxing, it's your jab, it's your right cross, it's your bobbing your head. For jiu-jitsu, it's your choke, it's your triangle chokes, it's chokes from the neck, and for kickboxing, it's your upper kicks, your side kick, groin kick, there's so many things that is basically E equals mc2. M is mass, is all of the certain things. C is the time frame. Now, because I mastered it, I could just memorize the thing to you just like that, right? That's exponential energy. And that's because I've done it so many times. And because I'm teaching it, I'm reinforcing that which I know. And for me to do this every day and get paid for it, of course I'm going to become a professor or a teacher. That's what the newspaper boys learn the route. And you see how it works, ladies and gentlemen. So basically for music, I'm telling you this, in a nutshell, E equals MC2 is the basis of applied music theory. And with that said, thank you, Michelangelo. Michelangelo wants to see your name in lights. Okay? Everybody, ho'olohe, listen, ho'oko, practice, holomua, succeed. Aloha nui.